Welcome back to the Style Masterclass podcast. I'm your host, Judith Catan, and this is the second episode of the first of the month files. When this is being recorded is June 2025. So if you're listening at some point in the future, just know that I love you and this still applies. Today, I want to talk about editing. Now, I know I've done episode after episode on this subject, but we're in the middle of the seasonal edit right now, and it's incredible and amazing. And if you want to catch all the replays because you missed it, that's okay. It's never too late. You can go to judithcatan.com/, the seasonal edit. But I want to talk about editing mid-year and really the beauty of a mid-year edit. Because I think, and I know, and I've experienced, and I see it in my clients, that by the time June rolls around, I'm starting to notice something. And it sort of falls into three sort of broad strokes categories. And this is something I shared inside of Maison Gaton during our recent goal setting workshop. Is I could see by mid-year, some of you are like head down, just super focused on your goals. And whatever it is you committed to at the beginning of the year, you are going to see through to the end, no matter what. And I love that energy. I love you. It's amazing until it's not. Because I can say for myself that in reviewing my goals that I set in January, actually December for 2025, so December 2024, I set goals for 2025. Some of those goals aren't as important as I thought they were going to be. And in fact, if I'm really honest, which I endeavor to be, I don't really want to do them anymore. Now, if I was so committed to the idea that the goals are the point, and reaching the goal is the whole point, I've lost the freaking plot because it's actually not the point. Me developing into the human that I was purposed to be, that I want to be a better human that serves others well in a way that really makes sense. Like some of my goals, if I really reflect on them, they lost the plot somewhere along the way. They're really not in service to me. They're really not in service to other humans. They don't even make sense. I don't really want to finish them. And not because I'm failing or I'm quitting in advance to get out of some discomfort, just they don't make sense anymore. And it was never about the goal. It was always about who I was becoming as I worked on this goal. Just like it's never about the clothes themselves. That's so besides the point. That's so boring in some ways. It's always about the woman wearing the clothing, how she thinks, how she feels, what adventure she's going to go on, what will she do next. That is the exciting part. And if I make it all about the clothes, and I say this as a stylist, then I've lost the friggin' plot. So if you're in that first category, dear friend, there's such a beauty, such a refreshing, such permission in allowing yourself to just revisit and edit with intention those goals that you were so committed to that seemed like such a good idea. And the first of the month files, I always want to encourage you to revisit and redecide all over again. Is this even something I want? That outfit that seemed like such a great idea a year ago, is this something I still want? What I said my style was, as if this was some fixed thing, is it something I would still identify as my style? We are ever evolving. We're always changing. We're coming up with new thoughts and feelings constantly. It's part of the human experience. Do not pigeonhole yourselves because you committed to a thing that no longer makes sense for you. And only you will know the nuance if you're truly giving up prematurely to get out of discomfort versus from your highest, best self deciding this no longer makes sense. Two, there's my friends who kept telling themselves, it's the beginning of the year. I've got time. I've got time. I've got time. And they did nothing. And I love that for you. I love that energy. What is that like? Is it fun? Do you enjoy it? Or is it terrible? Please tell me. Hit me in the comments, especially YouTube. Let me know. Is it terrible to just keep telling yourself? I don't know. I'm not that personality, but I am in awe of people who are. Because there's something so delicious about delay. We give ourselves a momentary peace. We can still hold to the idea of the aspiration and the goal that sometime in the future, this unknown future where we finally get to work, it will be done. And for some of you, the end of the year is where it's at. But for some of you, this delay leaves you kind of bummed out by mid-year. And it's not that your goals need editing per se, but maybe they do. And for those of you who are delay, and then it's a frenzy the end of the year, here's the lens through which I want to invite you to edit, to do this with intention, to refresh. There has to be a reason why you're delaying. Is it because you put a bunch of things that you thought you should do? Well, this is your permission slip, friend. You don't have to do a damn thing. You have a choice. Is it because it's always been on your to-do list? Like weight loss, changing the shape and size and weight of your body. For some of you, it's been at a constant one, maybe sometimes two, but one or two on your to-do list for decades. And then you delay, and then June rolls around, and then you tell yourself next year, and so on and so forth. And I want to encourage you that maybe that's really a goal we can let go in light of some other ideas. Maybe we're going to move our bodies. Maybe we're going to feed them differently. Maybe we're going to talk to them differently. And we're going to get really specific about what we mean by the goal that's been sitting on the top of our to-do list for decades and years. Maybe it's just a clue that these items, whatever they are, need some zhuzhing. You get to decide and maybe redecide all over again. Is this something I even want to do? Because thus far, I haven't done it. And that doesn't make me a failure. It doesn't make me unworthy. It doesn't mean anything morally suspect is going on with me. But there might be some saying things going on that are worth examining because I'm getting the clue that I haven't done it thus far. I haven't even started. And now I'm discouraged, and I don't want to wait another 6 months to have to redecide all over again. We can do this right now. And even if this podcast episode finds you mid-month, mid-quarter, whenever it finds you, this still applies, friends. And there's my third level of peeps who maybe didn't even do any of that goal stuff this year. They were so burnt out, so tired. They're like, I don't know. I'm just trying to get through the freaking day. I don't know. I don't know. That's okay. And maybe this is a year where we skip out on making a goal list so that we can just be. Yeah, you can do that too. Just in case somebody told you, that's absolutely an option. Maybe this is a year where we don't have 10 goals or three. Maybe we have one. Maybe we have half of one. Maybe we don't think about the year. Maybe we think about just what I would like to accomplish in the next week. Maybe it's not even about accomplishment. Maybe it's about how would I like to feel over the next few weeks, over the next month. And then maybe that will lead to a year. And maybe it's not about the goal list at all because it never was. It was always about your relationship with yourself. So if you skipped out on that part, June is not the time to beat yourself up. Maybe you're onto something, friends, that you could let the rest of us know about. Maybe we could skip that part altogether because that's absolutely an option. So for this June 2025, first of the month files, here's what I would hope for you, my friend. I would hope that you would allow yourself the gift and the pleasure of revisiting the idea of goals. I hope you give yourself the joy and the pleasure of crossing some stuff off your list, not because you've achieved it, but because it no longer makes any sense for you. My hope and joy for you would be some freedom and some peace in your own heart and mind, where you get to decide all over again what stays, what goes, what needs zhuzhing, what needs eliminating, and maybe, just maybe, you could try on for a quarter the idea that maybe you don't even have to do a goals list. And getting through some periods of burnout and some healing and finding yourself on the other side whole and intact and in peace is exactly what the doctor ordered. So So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to revisit the idea of goals. Decide again, all over again, for yourself what you will and won't do. Not because you have to, but because you want to. Let me know how it goes. Hit reply to any of the emails that I send you. You can comment on this video if you're on YouTube, or you can leave us a review in iTunes so other folks can find the podcast. All right, see you next time.